Here's what's up. It's time to stop watering yourself down. I am filming this very impromptu video because I'm literally having an epiphany right now. So please forgive me if it's difficult for me to get the words out of my mouth, but we need to talk about this. I've really been feeling with my wardrobe recently, not exactly in a style rut, but sort of like having this wondering and this questioning, why is it that I'm not feeling quite like myself in my clothes? And why is there this difference between how my wardrobe looks versus, say, the inspiration that I'm pinning, or, the clothes and the pieces that are calling my name, that are like out there in the world, but not here with me in my life. Sad face. Possibly it is also because we are switching seasons, and so here in New Zealand the weather is heating up. It's getting from like right into spring, edging towards summer, and I feel like I'm still almost kind of stuck in that winter mode. So I'm really thinking, how can I start to close this gap between my expectations versus my reality? Close the gap between my inspiration versus my execution. And we're going to talk about all of this and unpack it all today in this video. Deep breath before we begin. I have a few mantras to keep us on track as we're going through this process. Number 1, I can take it slow. Number 2, I am enjoying the process. Number 3, I'm allowed to make mistakes. Number 4, I accept myself. And number 5, I'm excited for what comes next. And I really wanted to bring these mantras in, these kind of little affirmations, if you will, so that if you are also going through something similar, which maybe you are, then these are like our little touchstones to come back to when things start to feel hectic or overwhelming or out of hand. When we feel ourselves freaking out, we can come back and remind ourselves, I'm okay, everything's fine, we're taking it slow, we're enjoying the process, nothing can really go wrong. And it's not this hectic pressure of, oh my God, I have to get this right, or it has to be the perfect piece, or whatever we're telling ourselves. Just quickly before we go on, if you are loving my content, it would mean so much to me if you would like this video or subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I think something like 70% of the people who watch my videos are unsubscribed. So if you would like to join our absolutely beautiful community of women here on this corner of the internet, please do so. Welcome to the cozy side. We have cookies. Grab your cup of tea and let's do this. Let's talk about prioritizing our wardrobe gaps and which ones are most important. Some days I look at my wardrobe, and even though I have, clothes to wear, and I tend to rewear my things a lot because I have a tiny wardrobe, it can be quite difficult for me to see which are the gaps to prioritize, which is most important to fill. When all you see is kind of gaps in your wardrobe, it can be like, I have to get everything pronto. But we know that when we rush these decisions, we end up making less than perfect decisions, or we end up not being able to find the right piece. So how do we prioritize our wardrobe gaps, especially if we have many, many gaps in our wardrobe? I think it's helpful to really get in there, take inventory of everything that you have, and then write out a list of everything that you want. If you had your bucket list, your wish list, even if you have 50 items on this wish list, write everything down that you need. And I think once you have it concrete and in front of your eyeballs, it's so much easier to then be like, okay, so obviously I don't have a pair of winter boots right now, and we're going into winter, so that's kind of more important than, say, another t-shirt or whatever the case may be. You'll be able to identify them according to, say, current, present, urgent needs that you have in your actual life, and then be able to prioritize those items on the sliding scale. As soon as you see an item and you compare it to another, it's much more easy to decide which of these two things is more or most important to me in my wardrobe, in my life, for my lifestyle right now. Not for some fantasy version of us, not for some future version, not because it's at a really good price right now, but purely based on practicality, is this something that is urgent, or is this something that can be pushed down the list a little bit more? Practicality, tick. Okay, number 2, we're going to understand, shall we say, our aesthetic gaps in our wardrobe. So what is it that is missing in our wardrobe that would bring us closer to how we want to be, how we want to dress, how we want to feel, our aesthetic that is just currently not represented in our physical, actual wardrobe? This has been my epiphany today, so this is what I'm so excited about. Questions you can ask yourself is, what am I constantly drawn to? What's constantly inspiring me? And also, how do I want to feel in my clothing? And I think that these two in combination really create this powerful kind of a cocktail of, is this something that I can currently access using the pieces that I have? Or is this something that is just glaringly obvious as like, I do not have anything in this realm that's making me feel this way, or that's representing this particular side of my personality? And is there something that you're constantly wishing that you had, but it's never there? When you go to your wardrobe and you look for something like that, it doesn't exist. This is so intangible, okay? It's very intangible because it could be like, I need to feel more feminine. Where is the femininity in my wardrobe? You know, it might be in the details. It might be that your details are too minimal or too structured or too preppy or too Western or something. But if there's some aspect or nuance that is missing and lacking in your wardrobe, how are we going to drift our way closer towards that? Because remember, we're taking it slow. We're not overwhelming ourselves. We're not going out to buy a whole new wardrobe because, you know, that's just not feasible for most of us. Most of us can't just go out and be like, I know what I want. I'm going to spend money. I'm going to get it. Sometimes you have to sit, wait, think about things, save up for things, and sort of creep our way slowly towards things rather than the instant gratification that I know we all, you know, want on some level. Currently for me, I have this yearning. I don't really know what it's for. I have this yearning. I decided to put on this cute little like lace vest over my t-shirt today because I've been looking at all of these knitted vests. What am I doing? I know we're going into a warmer season and I'm looking at the vests. Anyway, side note, I put on this vest today and I instantly felt more like myself in this outfit. I'm literally wearing like a t-shirt and jeans, and I put on the little gilet kind of vest thing on top, and it's like, oh, that was the missing element that I was looking for. I needed that bit of like quirkiness. I needed that bit of sort of je ne sais quoi. And as soon as I put it on, it was like, now I feel more at home in myself. Now I feel more represented in my outfit today. So whatever it is for you, see if there is something that you can incorporate to tiptoe your way towards a more authentic representation of your personal style. It might not be an easy fix. It might take a bit of, you know, maneuvering, trying, failing, but that's totally fine because remember, we are allowed to make mistakes. And as long as you're enjoying the process, there's really no such thing as losing. Another practical consideration to think about, talking about seasons as well, is sitting down to create a sort of a wardrobe plan for the upcoming season. And this really takes point number 1 and kind of makes it time bound. So you're just focusing on this 3 months or possibly even this 6 months. And I know we're like in the middle of October right now, so depending on where you are in the planet or when you're watching this video, it might be the beginning of a season or the middle of a season for you. But regardless, just thinking about your wardrobe in terms of, okay, what is the weather doing for this current 3 months or 6 months if you prefer? And so which are the exact pieces or the category of pieces that I'm going to be looking for this season? It's relevant to me now, it's current to my lifestyle right now, and it makes it something that is sort of tangible and like present, grounded in your reality. So what are the pieces that I'm looking for right now? It kind of takes it away from the like pie in the sky, like what are all of the things that I would love to own in my life, and just makes it more concrete, you know? What are the things that I am going to love that I will actually be using in the not too distant future, or if not right now in this moment? Spring, spring, spring. It's such a fickle season. It's pretty tricky to dress for. I love spring. It's like the whole garden is waking up and the sky is suddenly blue again, and I feel like the colours are also vibrant and different. I love the femininity of spring. So feminine pieces are something that I am now actively telling myself that this is what I'm seeking, this is what I'm searching out, and this is what needs to be incorporated into my wardrobe, not only for the practicality of the current season, but also for the aesthetics and the way that I am feeling and the way that I'm leaning within myself right now. White, cotton, and like little ruffles and possibly like a cute little collar. It's kind of difficult for me to balance the like kind of twee and little girl and like toddler core almost. Is that a core? It is now, whatever. To balance that with, you know, being actually a grown-up woman and presenting myself as such. Because I think sometimes I can come across as more childlike, which sometimes I enjoy, but sometimes it's just a little bit too young for me. I still always get ID'd whenever I buy alcohol at the supermarket. I'm like, okay, well, I'm in my 30s and I have 2 kids. Why do I need to have my ID with me? Anyway, that's a side note. So balancing the little girl with the kind of grown-up woman aesthetic, because I still am really drawn to those feminine girly details, cute little collars, and like I'd love to have a little pinafore dungarees dress, a little mini one. I think that would be so cute. But yeah, it's kind of styling it for the grown-up woman that is going to be my challenge for this season as well. Do you guys think I'm a grown-up woman? Do I count as a grown-up woman? I feel like I do. I'm going to claim it. I think I do. Okay, last point is inspiration versus execution. And we're using our fancy words today because I feel like this is, you know, expectations versus reality in another way. The things that inspire us online, and then we don't actually like how they look when we wear them, or they just don't give what we want it to give when we're actually wearing it in real life. And what is that? What is that? Why can't we just have, you know, life exactly as we want it? Riddle me this, okay? Anyway, I feel like this is where the creativity comes into play. I love watching people do their Pinterest inspired outfits videos, because, you know, you can make it your own, and you can also see people's thought processes as far as what they actually see and what actually inspires them and draws them into an image or an outfit. Which might be different than our own interpretation. Just like art, we all have our own interpretation, right? So inspiration versus execution is really about how are you able to draw out an element of beauty, an element of obviously inspiration from something, and create then something with your stamp on it, so that it's not just a carbon copy, so that it's not just copy and paste, and then so that we don't feel like an imposter in our outfits as well, right? Because we want to feel like ourselves. We want to feel like the it girl. We want to feel stylish. We don't want to feel like even more uncomfortable in our clothes because we secretly are telling ourselves like, this, you're not even stylish because you literally just copied that from someone else. Like, you didn't come up with it yourself, right? And I think there's nothing wrong with being inspired, because we are human beings. We interact with people. We take in inspiration all day long from everything that's around us, from our environment, from our friends, from people we see on the streets, of course, from the online space as well. But it's in the execution that we are trying to find our flow, trying to find some way that we can bring ourselves to the foreground, bring ourselves into that main character energy, okay? Bring ourselves into the outfit. Again, we don't want to be copying people, but we need people to inspire us as well. So kind of riding that wave between, oh my gosh, what on earth are you wearing? I love it, head to toe, please transplant your clothes onto my body. And then finding some way that we can actually do that for ourselves, that we can, you know, find a similar brand or find a similar piece or emulate a similar silhouette, incorporate it into our own personal style. My voice. So sorry for my voice, guys. I have been so sick And again, this is very impromptu. I wasn't planning on filming, but here we are. I'm on a roll. I think this also comes back to like, what do I want to wear in real life? So when we're looking at our inspiration, we need to be looking at it with a critical eye, with your own personal lens put on top of that outfit. Like, gosh, that's lovely. What does it mean to me? Like, why do I love this? Is it the color? Is it the depth? Is it the layering? Is it the silhouette? Is it the whole like cool girl vibe, or like whatever it is? And really figuring out what is it for you that inspires you within that piece of inspiration, whether it's an image or whether it's a person you see in real life. If you can identify the thing that connects you to that, that's where you can actually use it to re-inject it back into your own outfits. So for example, if it is the color that has drawn you in, like sumptuous green, forest green, like Dumbledore bottle green, okay? That is the color then, obviously, that you're going to be looking for in your outfits, that you're going to be using in your outfits, that you're going to be injecting into your own personal style. Whether it's something that you already own and can like rediscover within your own wardrobe, or now whether it's something that's on your radar and you're going to go out and search and seek for it. And then, you know, color is an easy one, but there's often other more subtle elements that we enjoy and that impress something upon our hearts. And so as soon as you figure out what it is for you, that's when you can go out with your little checklist and search for those specific things in the pieces that you're now welcoming into your wardrobe. I hope this has been making sense so far. And then lastly, it's all about loving yourself enough to buy the clothes you love. Yeah, we did self-sabotage in my last episode, so go back and look at that video if you haven't already. But yeah, loving yourself enough to actually buy and wear the clothes that you love, that's a whole journey in and of itself. So that is really the final step. That's really how we implement it into our wardrobe. It's like, okay, I actually love this thing. I'm gonna go and get the thing, you know, and I'm gonna wear it, and it's gonna make me even more myself. I'm gonna be so happy. It's gonna bring me joy. And if I'm happy and joyful, then I am bringing other people happiness and joy too, you know? It's not just a selfish thing. You will radiate that stuff out of you to other people that are around you, okay? Promise me, you will love yourself enough to buy the things that you love, okay? I know we're taking a shallow turn here, but it's like shallow deep, okay? It's shallow deep. It seems shallow, but it's actually deep. I think that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for coming along on this epiphany ride with me. I hope that I can be standing by my own words and buying some beautiful things and kind of showcasing to you exactly what I mean this season when it comes to actually putting myself out there and buying the things that I actually love. Obviously, as and when my budget allows too. Thanks so much for being here with me today. Please check out my other videos if you have not done so already. I'd love to have you stick around and subscribe. And that's all for today. I will see you very shortly in my next one. Bye.